Hi, everyone. So I just wanted to go over the mid-semester feedback that I received from all of you. First of all, thank you to those of you who completed the survey that I sent out. I really appreciate your feedback and your honesty. And I appreciate how everyone was able to give constructive criticism in a really polite and respectful way. So I listened to the feedback. I distilled what people majority recommended or suggested, as well as what was feasible based on the open-ended feedback that people provided. So students requested more time for the quizzes. That's fine. I will extend through Sunday. Um, it seems that at least one student didn't know you already had through Saturday, so you already have 48 hours. You have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. One student acknowledged that it was strange that quizzes happen after class. This is just a tough side of this class and just being in an online modality. If we were meeting face to face, I just do your quizzes in class. But because of COVID, people being sick and whatnot, I, as a professor, wanted to build in that flexibility that you could do it reasonably on your own time and at home, and that we wouldn't take up valuable class time doing a quiz. I'm sure a lot of you probably wouldn't have wanted to Zoom in just to, or go into Teams just to sit there and do a quiz during our class time. So I apologize for that, but that's just the nature of the beast of doing this online learning. But I will extend through Sunday. You all requested a reminder. I will definitely do that. A notification still appears in Teams. So if you go to Teams during the weekend, you will see that there's a notification for the quiz. But I know not all of you are using Teams, especially if you work all day Friday. So I will send additional reminders via email. I will do my best on that and try to get them out to you all to remind you to do the quiz. Someone requested longer spaces for answers. I apologize for that, so I will do that. So those are the things I can do on the quizzes. If I did not make actionable changes based on some of the feedback you give, please note that I did hear what you have to say and I did internalize it. It's just some things weren't feasible or there wasn't a majority consensus on some recommendations. For the activities, people ask for fewer questions. I can do that after seeing what happened with the training and feedback, training and development lecture and activity. I can definitely work on making there to be fewer questions and more time. My feeling as your professor, especially since we're not face to face, is that it seems like a lot of you are actually working through the questions very quickly, but it seems like that's actually not the case. So I will try to do fewer questions and do more of a walkthrough, which is what a lot of you recommended. But I want you to know that a lot of you have told me you think I talk too fast. That's the Californian in me. I'm sorry. It's how we were raised to talk. But so that might be a challenge. The other reason that I avoid talking too much during the activities is it's very hard for someone to both listen and write their response. Our brains just can't pay attention to both sources of information, or rather, you can't pay attention to what someone's saying and write your own thoughts and words. But with fewer questions, that should allow for me to do more of a walkthrough and then give you all enough time to apply it to your own answer. People want it to be most people want pop culture to be included, especially as we move into the org psych section of this class. That's definitely going to be possible and very likely. This is also, though, with the caveat that, once again, tech issues often prevent us from being able to use it flawlessly. So I know that a lot of you had issues with the training and development video that we watched from the office. So I will do this, but just know that it does sometimes lead to tech issues. More time to turn it in. I hear you on this. I can give, I can give one additional hour, but excuse me, I can give one additional hour. But if you're wondering why I don't give a day more, the reason being, at that point, we're already into the quiz. And I don't want you to be working on this when you should be maybe working in other classes. I hope that with fewer questions, more of you won't need as much time as you think you do now to turn it in. So I'm hoping that with fewer questions plus an additional hour, that will cover everyone. My other concern, is if I give people until the end of the weekend, you're going to feel swamped that you're supposed to be working on this activity plus the quiz, and that it's the weekend. Though when I was in college, I did homework on the weekend all the time. So hopefully this will help accommodate those people who ask for more time to turn it in. If you genuinely feel that this is not enough, you can reach out to me via email and we can talk about what's going on and maybe how I can adjust the assignment or the activity a little bit more than adjusting the time required to do it. In terms of lectures, people ask for me to break them up in smaller videos. I can definitely do that. That's fairly easy to do. The majority of people said they wanted more examples in the lecture and less of a discussion of concepts. What was really interesting is how many people said they wanted more discussion of concepts and ideas and less examples, and also said they wanted more examples and less discussion of concepts and ideas. So those two are effectively mutually exclusive. I can't do both without giving, you all 2 or 3 hour long lectures. But the majority of people said that they wanted more examples. I think like 2/3, if not 100% of everyone said that they wanted more examples and therefore application of the concepts. I will try to do that. What that means, though, is that the lectures won't necessarily directly reinforce what's in the book. I know that one of you said you actually prefer to watch the lecture first and then read, but if the majority of people, and in that way, you want the lecture to set you up for what you need to pay attention to in the book. If most people, though, want practical and illustrative examples, it's probably better to read the book first and then listen to the lecture. Since that's what everybody wanted, or the majority of people wanted, that's what I'm going to try to incorporate more. And I will focus on, as I have been doing in the past, the key concepts from the books, as well as some things that don't get covered in the book that I think should be included. With then a focus on more application and discussion of examples and real life situations that these things come up in. Once again, this is a little bit easier to do with the organizational psychology section that's coming up. So talking about things like motivation and whatnot. So hopefully that will be a little bit easier. But that's it. Thank you all again for responding. I appreciate your honest and open feedback and your professionalism in providing constructive critiques. So have a good weekend, and remember to do the quiz. There is one, and it is relatively easy.